Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're here again with Paul Butler, but this time he's WBO World Bantamweight Champion. Nice to have you again, Paul. How does it feel to be champion?
It's obviously a great feeling. Woke up this morning to find out I was upgraded from interim world champion, which was what was announced in the ring. We're now full WBO world champion, so it's something I've worked hard for a while now, and now it's here. I'm made up about it.
Second time obviously that you're world champion. You fought during the Sultan. It was supposed to be Casemiro, but he's done his usual stuff again.
Yeah.
How did it feel in training while you were having to, not knowing if you're going to fight Casemiro or Sultan?
To be honest, we were always set for Casemiro. The whole training camp was set around Casemiro. Obviously we didn't know that he was going to mess around with the weight again. And then when that did happen, we had literally 48 hours to figure up a game plan, come up with a game plan to beat Jonas Sultan. And we literally had 15 minutes in the changing rooms of going over that game plan, actually throwing shots, moving the feet. So once we'd done that, we had to go out there and execute that, and I think I executed the game plan pretty well.
Yeah, you did. Talk about 48 hours. It looked like you've been training for 2-3 years to get that, because you were in control the whole fight. I had it 11-1.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole fight, I thought you were really in control. Obviously, he had his shots every now and then, but you're going to get caught a few times in boxing.
Yeah.
But your fight, amazing. Everyone was watching it. Like, people who don't watch boxing, I said to you a few days ago, my mum, my mates were watching it, and they're not really into boxing. They all got to support you, because obviously you're our champion now, isn't it?
No, that's good, mate. Yeah. I come here, I train the likes of you and a load of other kids, so I'm getting a bigger audience than what I normally would. If I weren't here, I probably wouldn't have them type of kids watching me fight. So it's an honour to train the kids and then have them supporting me as well.
It was amazing though, because I thought throughout the fight you just looked so comfortable. You didn't even really have to break a sweat. It was just you were just keeping him away. And
it was one of them. I had to stick to that game plan. If we'd have fought his type of fight, it'd have obviously been a lot tougher, and his type of fight would have suited him. If I stood in the middle of the ring and had a tear out of him, which sometimes I had to, but I had to keep that nice and controlled and go for my walks when I could. And that was always the game plan: move the feet, make him fall short and make him pay.
Well, when was the moment when you realised that you've won this fight?
Probably finishing round 10. I knew I only had 2 to go, and I knew he couldn't hurt me at this point. I knew he couldn't hurt me probably after round 4 or 5. I got used to the power. I knew he carried power, but I knew he couldn't take me out with one shot. It'd have to be 3 or 4 shots. So after round 10, I knew he couldn't really catch me. Every time I was taking the feet out, I was shutting him down and just stopping what he wanted to do. So by round 10, I think if you watch it back, I celebrate a little bit.
Yeah.
We go back to the corner, we settle down, and we go again in round 11.
So obviously it was supposed to be Casemiro, but when you found out that it wasn't Casemiro, what were your initial thoughts?
I wasn't really too bothered, to be fair. Obviously last time in Dubai, when it wasn't Casemiro, my head was all over the gaff. This time around I was prepared, because we always knew the Sultan was a reserve 8 weeks ago, so I was a bit better prepared this time around. So my frame of mind was a lot better this time than it was in Dubai.
Obviously, you love boxing, that's your profession, but got to ask you about football, because that's what I do a lot on this channel. You support Liverpool, innit?
I do, big Liverpool fan.
What do you reckon, quadruple on?
Quadruple's coming, mate. We're flying at the moment. I think it'll be tough. It will be tough, because we've got some big games to come up. We're obviously in the final. I think the hardest one possibly be the league. Find City. I think it'll be tough if they drop any points. I think if they were going to drop points, it could have potentially been last week with them resting players for tonight's game against Real Madrid, but we picked up the 3 points against Leeds. They look comfortable. Potentially West Ham away could be the tricky one for them. Hopefully the Hammers do something, and if they don't, it's all down to Stevie G, the last game of the season. Yeah.
Let's get back to boxing now. I wanted to ask you this question. I think a lot of people have asked me to ask you this question. Who do you think is the best boxer ever?
Good question. The best ever. Everyone seems to think Floyd Mayweather, but for me, Sugar Ray Leonard. I know Floyd was unbeaten and he retired unbeaten. He won numerous world titles at different weights, but I just think Sugar Ray boxed everyone in his prime at his time. He beat them all. I know he got beat by a couple, but I think he got beat by Duran. He went back and beat Duran twice. I just think Sugar Ray had a bit of everything about him. Floyd did as well, to be honest. During his early days, which everyone reckons he runs later on when he got a little bit older, that was just his management of a fight. He's still very, very good, but I just think Sugar Ray edges him.
Yeah. Well, man, it's been incredible. I can't believe it still. I'm so proud of you, and we all are, because, you know, never thought that I'd be, you know, talking to a world champion or being trained by a world champion. It's great to have you around there and be trained by you and everyone else, as I mentioned last time, but we're so proud of you. Unbelievable, mate.
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Nice one.
See you soon. See you Friday, mate.